I thought of the funniest story and I started to write it down because I have all of these stories and they are hilarious. And I remember them vividly. And now when I think of them, I always laugh, but I immediately go to write it down in detail because it's a great reminder to have these stories and then be able to reflect on them and laugh, but also to have a collection of funny moments or moments that you remember in life or moments that brought you joy. Mine are always hilarious. They're always hilarious. And the story has so many parts because I think of the people involved in the story, what happened in the story, and I will laugh for a long time after something funny happens because you gotta get all your laughs in. And it was also this story because it was like that immediate karma that I saw in real time that I almost was reeled into the nonsense, but it was hilarious. And it, when I lived, well, first of all, I have a group of uh, beautiful friends. I've always had beautiful beauty around me, including my friends. And I remember someone would say, "Oh, her and her model, skinny, tall model friends." Well, yeah. And that's just because we probably are going to be in the same places, but that could be because we're at the same gym or the same dance studio or the same massage therapist. If you have a large gap of numbers between you and sizes, not always, but you may have more things in common. I'll go out to eat at a restaurant, obviously, with any friend, but there's certain restaurants I'm not going to go to. I'm definitely not eating fast food. The only fast food that I will eat, like what you would consider fast food, is Shake Shack. I love Shake Shack. The last time I flew through Denver Airport, because Denver Airport has a Shake Shack, and because of the flight attendant background, I know all of the restaurants in the different airports and I look forward to them. So in Denver, I look forward to the Shake Shack. It's been there, I don't know, the past 5 to 10 years. I think it's within 5 years. New Shake Shack. In Denver, there used to be, I used to like the restaurant. It's not Tex Mex, it was like Mexican food, but it was good at that time. And then it changed. And then there was like a Asian fusion where I could get tofu broccoli with rice if I was if I had a long layover. I could also, what else would I eat in Denver? Oh, they have this place called Mod Kitchen, which I saw someone create a piece of content like, what's your favorite place in Denver Airport? And this is why I know I'm very different, but I don't eat fast food. Everyone in the comment on this app was saying, oh, I love the McDonald's. Oh, I love the Wendy's. Oh, there's a Chick-fil-A. I'm like, does anyone eat real food? All I see are fast food joints. So, but it would make sense because Mod Kitchen, which is in Denver Airport, they have the most amazing tofu scramble, this Southwest tofu scramble that even a non tofu eater would love. And that's what is the test for a delicious vegan or vegetarian restaurant, it's not for the vegetarians. It's actually for the meat eaters. Because if a meat eater loves food from a vegetarian restaurant or a vegan restaurant, that means it's seasoned and has the texture and something to their liking where they're not saying, oh, but I need meat. There's no meat. Like, I don't care. That's so dumb to me. I was with my niece, and there's an Indian restaurant we always go to. But next to the Indian restaurant was an Indian grocer with a restaurant inside of the grocer. And inside of the grocer, the food is it's phenomenal. And they're shrewd business people, which I love. So next door is a Laotian Thai restaurant that had sugarcane juice for 7.99 for like a 8 ounce. Next door at the Indian grocer slash restaurant, they had sugar cane juice the same size for 5.99, and they're right next to each other. So for me, I see that as, oh, this is a business person. They see someone's advertising the same exact thing that they're carrying. So if the same person wants a sugarcane juice, they may look at both signs and just go into the Indian grocer just because they have the drink for a lesser price. That is someone who's thinking about business and capturing a customer, capturing money. They don't care if you want the food or not. The fact is, you're now in the door because the sugarcane juice. Does that make sense? So that's why I went in and I saw they had a restaurant and it's completely vegetarian. And I love paneer. I love Matar paneer. I love like a masala paneer. I love palak paneer. One has spinach, one has fresh green peas, and it's like tofu. It's like a cheese, and it's delicious. And they have great samosas. So I went in there, and they know me because I talk to everyone. So my niece wanted some Indian food. I was like, yo, this place right next door, check it out. Check it out because not only does it have the restaurant, it also has the grocers. So there's the incense, there's assorted oils that you can make for your hair, like a hair oil. There's masks, there's henna, there's tea. So I can get my Tentleys or PG tips or any black British tea. Will be there as well as other teas. Like, let's have a look. So we went in, I picked up my tea and some other things. And I said, oh, okay, so let's go sit down. Because they have a full sit down restaurant where you can have your own waters. And so we looked and she looked and she was like, oh, there's no meat. And I thought nothing of it because I don't eat meat, but it's a new place. So I would try the new place. Hi, handsome, because I've never tried it. Thank you for the heart hands. I saw you were on live as I was coming on live. And I saw you had something where you were in the house of the Lord in a gray suit. What were you talking about? Were you introducing yourself? Were you giving a testimony? Tell me, handsome. I would love to know. So, in the Indian restaurant, my niece is like, man, ain't no meat. I'm like, so? Like, it can be without meat and filling and a satisfying meal. You could try it, but that's just my outlook. So I said, okay, we'll put it down and we'll go next door. Thank you, Christine, for the follow. So we went next door and she got a goat stewed something. And the food was good at the next door restaurant. It's an established restaurant. But I said that to say the shrewd business tactic of seeing a sign and pricing something lower just to get someone in the door. It's recognizing I have the same thing of value. It carries value. Now, once you come in the door, you may buy more. You may sit down and eat at the restaurant. You may actually buy groceries because they're a full grain grocer. So it's that little thought of a business owner seeing that they have a product that their next door competitor has the same product, but if I price it lower, I may just get more, if that makes sense. Hola, hola from Colombia. So we went there and she was like, there's no meat. So what? So what? Try order something else. Try something. That is an observation. There's no meat. That is correct. And as I asked her, that is correct. What would you like to do? I know there's no meat. I just realized that it's a vegetarian restaurant, but you telling me that means nothing to me. As a non-meat eater, you saying there's no meat? Okay, yeah, sure. What does that mean for you? And sometimes just that observation that you have of something, you know what it means for you, but it doesn't mean the same thing for someone else. So you have to clarify it. For my niece saying there's no meat here, okay, yeah, there is no meat. And what does that mean? Does that mean you're happy about that? Does that mean you're not happy and you want to eat something else? Does that mean you've never seen this before? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. And because I seek clarity with every interaction, I just want to know what that means. The assumption that I do know what it means creates a lack of clarity. Well, I told them this, so they should know. You don't know if what you told them is what they heard. Thank you, Elizabeth Silva, S250, for the follow. And I find myself often asking individuals, from what I just shared with you, what did you hear? Because just because you said it doesn't mean the person actually ingested it or heard it. Many people don't listen or listen intentionally. Hello, Pablo. Uh, Listening is a skill. It is a skill. It has to be taught, it has to be honed, it has to be repetitively practiced. Listening is a skill. Some people don't listen just because I think, what is it? People's brains like just kind of switch off to withhold brain power. But not everyone shares your same level of understanding, not even of intelligence. It's with understanding. That's why I asked my niece, what does that mean? I know there's no meat. What does that mean for you? There was someone else who shared something with me, and I said, okay, what does that mean? Because a lot of things don't mean, I don't know what it means for you, but I try to gain clarity because with clarity comes clear communication. And this is from having non clear communication within my life, often from me. This isn't with others. This really is coming from a learning with from myself. If I can get clearer communication with myself, how I communicate to others, how I receive what others are saying, I can probably keep an open line of communication, which keeps connections. So, and I like being with my niece because I do like, I don't have an age. I don't feel an age, but I'm often around people significantly younger than me, like vibrant, open, just fun, not broken and hardened by life, like still open to the beauty of life, of what they can learn. And my niece is very beautiful, and I love being around beauty, other confident, beautiful friends, men and women. So I shared that because when I was living in London, quite a few of my friends were signed to agencies, modeling agencies in London. And we came across each other in like various ways. Um, Myself, as well as another friend of mine, are great connectors. I think I'm a great connector because I know I'm like the coolest of the cool. So I know a bit of the cool people, but I'm not in it with the cool people. I know who to contact to get what I want or what I need. Sometimes that's all you need. Just the connection to get you what you want. And so, me and a friend of mine who is also a flight attendant based in London, um, she had a friend who said, "Hey, I know this person. They used to date a friend of mine, and she's being signed to an agency in London. And I think you two would be good people to show her around or hang out with." I was like, "Of course, yeah." And so thank you, Brian. Thank you for the heart me. So she moved to London, very cool, hit it off, very tight, amazing, tall, beautiful, has like a beautiful gap in her teeth, full lips, beautiful skin. Thank you for the bubble gum. Just amazing human being. Really funny, is quick to check people, will fight someone if necessary. S- Fun, just fun. Love her completely. So she was part of the crew. Then there was my friend who was also the flight attendant who was based out of London. Then there was another girl who I think we met collectively, but we all had our hair done from my stylist. And my stylist was based in London and my flatmate. So all of us were getting our hair done from the stylist. So we all knew each other. And a friend of mine was actually, her body is like perfect. She's maybe 5'11", 6 foot, but just sculpted and just the most chiseled body. So her body measurements have been used for mannequins. And they took her body measurements. Thank you for the sunglasses. And she is now, her body measurements are the mannequins in Selfridges, in Harrods, in Nordstrom's, in Saks Fifth Avenue, maybe Macy's, but I know those that I named. And it was a very big deal because it was like our friend's body is being made into the mannequins for these extremely well known department stores. And we were all living in London. We were, I don't know, between 23 and 26 at the time, all from different places. One girl was from DC. I'm from California. One girl was she was Colombian by way of Chicago. One girl was South African, born in Namibia, but raised in South Africa. And we were all living in London. So my friend, the one from DC, who was having her measurements made into a mannequin, there was this huge party at this warehouse for her, thrown by industry professionals. So, photographers, designers, fashion distributors were throwing this party to unveil these mannequins that had been made and would be in all the stores from her figure. So it was a big deal. So we all got our hair done from my stylist, got our hair done, makeup, beautiful dresses to go to the unveiling. Myself, my friend who is a flight attendant, absolutely beautiful Colombian girl, the model whose measurements are now the mannequins in the department store. The one, we'll call her Penelope, as well as the model from South Africa. We're all going, all different shades of brown, just beautiful. So we go to this unveiling, this party in this cool warehouse somewhere in London. I think it was might have been in Notting Hill. So we show up, and she is the big spectacle, which was amazing. And they had um, sparkling beverages and catered food and hors d'oeuvres. It was a beautiful place. It was beautiful. It was crazy. It was like, this is my friend. And they had her mannequin all in the space. So we arrive, and then that's when the mingling starts because there's everyone there. Um, and one of the friends, so the friend Penelope is the star of the show. The star of the show is the star of the show. I real recognize is real. I'm not trying to take anyone's shine. I shine on my own, but to purposely steal a little shine, I'm not going to do that. This is your night. This is your body. You are amazing. Not everyone has that thought. So the other model was definitely, well, I don't think she was stealing her light. She was just making her way as well because she was also a model and it was a lot of fashion people. So she brought her cards and comp cards and was making the rounds at this girl's party. Let me hydrate. So I've been talking. I take my water because I don't like cold water. So I fill my water up and then I put lemon, ginger, honey, like candied ginger. Thank you, Jerry, for the follow. And then I leave it open and put it directly in the sun. So it almost makes like a lemon candied ginger, honey type of tea. It's very faint, but it kind of warms up. It's not extra cold like ice cold, but it's still refreshing. It's delicious. So we're at the party. There's hors d'oeuvres, there's sparkling beverages, there's the who's who of fashion and sports and all of this, and we're in Notting Hill at this warehouse in London. So one friend is like trying to get her next modeling job. Me and my other friend are just seeing who's there, seeing the next moves of the night. And she did kind of try to take her shine because whenever there was like heads of Selfridges and no, I don't do that. I've seen people do that, but I don't do that. Like my cells, here's the thing: you're being hydrated already. I don't care to have a little salt in my water. I actually think that's dumb. I put my candied ginger, my lemon, my honey. Sometimes I put caffeine free um, teas or like I pick some ginkgo biloba leaves and some fig leaves and I'll put those in there because fig leaves actually have a taste like a coconut. So it gives a faint coconut taste, but I don't put salt in water. The only time I drink salt water is when I'm swimming in the ocean. You're already hydrating. So we're going around seeing what's cracking at the party. One friend's trying to take the other friend's shine because when the heads of these department stores are taking pictures with my friend, whose measurements have been based off of the mannequin that's now in the stores, the other friend would try to get like in the center of the picture, like, let me stand here. Girl, get out of the picture. This is her picture. This is her event. Chill, chill. But she didn't. So it was great. It was early. It was like It started at 6:30 or 7. So we might have been there an hour, 90 minutes, time to make moves. So by then, we went, someone had a table at this members only club or some club in London. So we're like, yo, we're going to go over there. Well, one of the girls, the one that was trying to take all the shine, she left early because she found someone that could help her get to where she needed to go in some ways. So she left early. She was like, bye, bye, girls, bye, girls, bye. So it was the three amigas. And so we left to go to this club. And at this club, this girl that we knew who was gorgeous, and she received funds how she received them, but she was always dressed to the tens, designer everything, fur everything, different car, different foreign car, like gorgeous, just gorgeous. She had a table with some people. So we went to the club, maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock by now. So we get to the club and we go to the table. Now, one of the friends, the other flight attendant friend of mine, her boyfriend just the day before, or maybe that day, had taken her shopping. So she had this beautiful Dolce and Gabbana cocktail dress on. She went to Harrods that day and he had bought her this absolutely gorgeous Dolce and Gabbana cocktail dress. Fit her to the T, moved with her. It was chef's kiss. Gorgeous dress. And I know it was Dolce and Gabbana because she kept reminding us. And she kept reminding us because at the unveiling for the mannequin, she was like, "Oh, look what he bought me. He got me this Dolce and Gabbana dress." And a friend was like, "Oh, a D&G dress?" She said, "No, not D&G. This is Dolce and Gabbana." Which she has a point. There is a difference. There are different lines. D&G is vastly different from Dolce and Gabbana. It's like Karl Lagerfeld line, which is a diffusion line, which you can find in TJ Maxx, compared to Karl Lagerfeld designing for Chicago for Chanel. It's two different things. So she kept correcting at the party, like, "No, this isn't D&G. This is Dolce and Gabbana. This dress was 1,600 pounds." Like, cool. I'm not even against that because it was. Feel proud of that. I don't feel any type of way, but she wanted everyone to know. And she got some matching beautiful heels, some Louboutins with bows on the toes, but the toe was cut out. So it was the peep toe Louboutin with a bow, and it was black. It was beautiful. It was like a satin heel. It was gorgeous. Her entire outfit was gorgeous. So she had the Dolce and Gabbana, beautifully tailored to her cocktail dress with the Louboutin peekaboo toe bow shoes. That is her outfit. I'm in some designer, I don't know, it was something beautiful. We were all in beautiful things. And as we walk into the table, some of the guys, I think it was footballers, because this girl was always with footballers. So they were teasing us, like, "Hey, you're here." And they started throwing ice. And they started throwing ice at people around the table. So imagine this is like a members only club, or let's just say a very luxe club in London. Three tall, beautiful girls walking in after we left from my friend's unveiling because her body measurements are now the mannequins in these department stores. And we're now at this club, beautiful in London, and people at the table are throwing ice. So the ice is on the floor and it's slippery. So as we're walking to the table to sit down, and we're all beautiful in our cocktail dresses, my friend in her Dolce and Gabbana dress and her Louboutin heels catches one of the ice cubes underneath her foot. So she catches the ice cube and she starts slipping like, oh, here's the thing. The thing is hilarious because she's an absolutely stunning woman. She has this black um, Dolce and Gabbana dress, her Louboutin heels, and she looks like a Looney Tunes cartoon. She looks like the Roadrunner because she refuses to fall because she doesn't want to bust her butt in her Dolce and Gabbana dress or bust her butt in these new Louboutins. So every time she slips, her feet are like burr, 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 burr. She keeps slipping on the ice. So she keeps slipping and she would fall onto the booth of the table that we're at. And as soon as she would fall onto the booth, she would try to get herself up, but she could never catch her balance. She could never gain traction. So she's slipping in these this Dolce and Gabbana dress and these Louboutin heels, like boom. She tries to get up, she slips again, boom, she hits the other slide, boom, and she's doing this nonstop for like 30 seconds, and we're sitting at the table like, what is going on? Because she refuses to fall, but she cannot gain her traction. So she's like slipping, getting up, slipping, getting up, slipping, getting up, trying not to embarrass herself, but you already look ridiculous. So just fall, laugh it up, get yourself up. My other friend is looking at her like, girl, just fall. Like you can't even catch yourself, but she didn't want to bust her butt. So she finally, I think, falls like, gets up, gets in the booth. And when I am crying laughing, I am screaming laughing because I am going to laugh. When life hands you laughter, you laugh. It was hilarious. And I tell people, as your friend, I'm laughing. I'm going to make sure you're okay. But life can be hard. I'm getting all the hearty hars in that I can. I am laughing. And that is hilarious because we're in this beautiful setting. We come from this beautiful unveiling of my beautiful friends who her body is now the mannequin in these department stores. And we walk into this cool club with the footballer and you can't even gain your balance. I am laughing, but the music is so loud no one can hear. She finally steadies herself, and I guess they pour her a drink. So we're there in the club, and she is trying again. We've had some adult beverages. So no one was really embarrassed. She was probably embarrassed shortly, but then she got over it. But that was hilarious. So we chill at the club. It was really fun. Then people are starting to make moves. So the next move was to go to this restaurant. Yes, one of my favorite restaurants. This is my favorite. Well, it's in the top 5 of my favorite restaurants in London is Fatouche. Fatouche. And this Fatouche is right next to, there's a few. There's one in Kensington, West Kensington, and then there's one um, right next to Harrods on, it's not Belgravia. The street will come to me because it's open till like 4 or 5. And they have the best falafel. I love falafel. It's a Lebanese restaurant with the best falafel and the best fresh hummus and the best pita bread and the best, like, oh, it's amazing. And they have fresh smooth fruit smoothies. And I would get their lemon mint lemonade, and it's fresh lemons and fresh mint and a little ice. It's pungent. It's delicious. So after the club, I was like, okay, we're going to Fatouche. A lot of people go to Fatouche. They have a great salad. I mean, everything is great. And you can get delicious food, thick, hot chips, which Americans call fries. It's amazing. with the garlic sauce and oh, it's amazing, Fatouche. But there was the specific one that we were going to that's right next to Harrods. It's the street after Harrods. So we leave for the club. My girl has been drinking a lot. At this point, I had stopped drinking. I stopped drinking years ago because I was around all these beautiful people that drank a lot. And I used to drink, it just stopped serving me. As I said, I've drank in all the best places, all of the best vintages, all of the best champagne. I've danced on all of the best bars around the world. It doesn't really serve me. It's not fun to me, but sometimes people can bring it out. But I'm just not going to go to Chili's and have a drink. What's up, Nikki? What's up, Nikki? You see, we're on to a different hairstyle because I'm constantly changing and evolving. And I kind of like this reddish. I'm in like a reddish auburn, blonde, brown mix, caramel. Like my hair, I'm stunting on people. But anyway, so that was the plan. Now, my friend who was busting her butt, it is. I told you I'm growing my hair out. My hair is fire. Mhm. So my friend who busted her butt has been drinking sparkling adult beverages, and she's hilarious when she has too much. But she had a man that really provided for her, and she reminded everyone of that. So when we left, she was like, I think we would just switch. Like on the way to the party, one person got the cab, then to this place, another person got the cab. I think I got the cab to the restaurant. So thank you, Nikki. So as we're about to walk into the restaurant, this girl has had a lot of adult beverages from the entire night. Um, she almost busted her butt in front of the footballers in the club, but kept falling from side to side and getting up, couldn't catch her traction because she did not want to mess up her Dolce and Gabbana dress or La Bouton Peekaboo heels. But she's had quite a bit of bubbly. So I'm on the left hand side. My friend Penelope is on her right hand side, and we're walking into this restaurant. Now it may be 1:32, 2 in the morning. It's between 1 and 3 in the morning. We're walking into this restaurant by Harrods in London, and there's two women. So it's three of us going in the door, and two people are coming out. Two beautiful ladies are coming out. So as those two beautiful girls are walking out of the restaurant, the girl that I'm holding up, who was like busting her butt, she says to the girls as they're walking out, "Move, hoes," and almost like pushes them to the side. So I'm like, that is not nice. That is not cool. Who would say move, hoes? Like, it's actually hilarious because me and my friend both look like, why would you say that's the dumbest thing? But maybe that's her true character after all of the sparkling adult beverages. So she's in the middle. I'm on the left. My friend's on the right. We're walking into the restaurant. Two beautiful women are walking out as we're walking in. My friend says, "Move, hose," to the girls. Within a nanosecond, she received instant karma. Within a nanosecond, I don't know how. There was not a banana. The sidewalk wasn't wet. There was nothing that would make her slip and fall, except she was the direct example of instant karma. All I saw was those Louboutin peekaboo heels go up like this. Both of her legs, both of her feet go up in the air, and she falls on her butt like immediately. Like she says, "Move, hose," to the girls. Then her feet fly up and she lands like on her butt and her back. And me and my friend jump off because she tries to bring us down. We're like, you got that instant karma. Move, hose. That's why you're on the ground now. You can't move, hose. Like it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Right in front of these girls that you just said move, hose. Now your ass is on the ground. What's up, Justin? So I am actually laughing because I'm shocked and appalled. Yes, even. I'm shocked and appalled that she said move, hose, but I'm also laughing so deeply because I saw how the universe worked at that exact moment, and now her ass is on the ground because she said move, hose. To this day, I woke up last night and I just started laughing because I thought of this story. That move, hose, and then the universe was like, yeah, no, boom. They just knocked her off her feet. It was hilarious. She tries to grab my arm. She tries to grab my friend's arm, pull us down. We're like, ain't going for it at all. And she falls. So there's like a officer of the peace outside of this restaurant. So I help her get up. She's all disoriented. She doesn't know that she's scuffing up her shoes and her Dolce and Gabbana dress that her man bought for her at Harrods earlier that day. So we are about to walk into the restaurant, and the officer of the peace was like, "Wait a minute, hold up. Aren't you that girl that just fell? I don't know if you should be coming in here." And I'm laughing. I'm never going to try not to laugh because you deserve it. The officer of the peace is like, "Yo, you just slipped and busted your butt. Like, are you okay to enter this restaurant?" She's like, "No, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right." I'm like, it's up to you. I'm tired of her. This is hilarious. I'm laughing, but I've seen the whole night, buddy. You haven't even seen the entire night. So we go into the restaurant, we order food, we sit down, and some other gentlemen come and sit with us, and they just start talking because it's kind of like communal tables. So they sit down and they start talking, and she's like, "Yes, well, I live right here. I can walk home. I live here in Knightsbridge. I can walk home in 10 minutes. I walk in Buckingham Palace Park every morning. That's where I walk. Like, are you going to get these two girls home? Are you going to see that they get home?" And she's talking about me and my friend, and we're like, what the heck is she? Why is she doing that? Because we're just enjoying our falafel and chips. And now it's like, well, are you going to make sure these girls get home? We're like, we need to get her home because she's a princess, granted, but she believes she's like a real princess. Like, it's funny though. This isn't in a mocking way. This is hilarious. So I'm like, whatever. I just want to finish this delicious falafel and chips and my fresh lemon mint juice. And she finishes whatever she was going to finish. And she was like, "I need to get home. My car is here." And so we assume, like, oh, okay, I guess she called her taxi or something. She was like, "My man sent me my car. My car is outside." I said, "Okay, well, let's walk you out because you've had a lot to drink. Let's get you into the car." That's what friends do. What's up, stories? And we walk out of the restaurant. We walk down the stairs. We walk to the front of the restaurant. And there's nothing. There's no car. I'm looking at her like, "Where's your car? Is it on her way?" She was like, "I don't know. Did you call it?" I'm like, "You get your butt, get your oh my gosh." We are not going back at that restaurant. Your car's not even here. You didn't even call a car. You're talking about my car, my chariot is waiting outside. Nothing is here. All of this is grand delusions of grandeur. So we call her a car. She gets in the car, and we all get into the car because I said, let's just make sure she gets into her place. See, here's the thing: you can drink this much when you're around friends that care about your well being. Like, I wasn't ever going to actually leave her. It might have been an extra step, But there was no way that I would have said, like, well, you're on your own. I'm still going to make sure that you get home safely and transport it home safely. That's what a friend does. You don't just say, find your way. That's crazy, especially when people are drinking. So we all get into this car and we go to her place, which was a short distance away. And so we pull up and she gets out because her place was in the Muse, which used to be where they would store horses in London way back when. And it's cobblestone. So she's in these heels, like wobbling around. She's walking to the front door of the Muse. This is in London. It's late at night. She can't see. I'm like, is she in? Because she's at the door, but I just see her looking in her purse. And I'm like, let me go ring the doorbell so your boyfriend opens the door. And then I'm getting in the car. I'm tired. I don't drink. And this is why I don't like being out with people who drink, because I don't mind doing this, but it's like I'm supervising. She has done it for me too. So it's worthy. But I eventually was like, she'll get in. Let's go. Like, this has been quite an evening, from the move hose to her slipping and falling and not being able to catch her traction in the club, to the friend trying to get in where she fits in. Um, it was a hilarious night, but it doesn't end there. So we had all had. I didn't drink at the time, so I was completely sober. Everyone else was drinking to a certain degree. She had a lot to drink, but it was great sparkling adult beverages. You should. So she came, passed out at her house. The next morning, she calls me and she's like, Hope, what happened? I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, my dress is so effed up. I was like, girl, it should be. You kept flipping and flopping all around the club. Like, when we got to the table, when we got to the booth, and this was over 10 years ago. So it wasn't the club as you know it now. I mean, I moved to London in 2008. So this was years ago. This might have been 2010, 2009, 2010. She was like, what? This dress has all these scuff marks and snags and tangles. I was like, yeah, when we got to the club, you kept slipping in those slick ass Labouton peekaboo heels. You kept slipping on ice because they were throwing ice from the sparkling adult beverage bath. People were throwing ice. So you kept stepping on the ice and you're like, boom, you would slip and fall. You would hit the side, but you would get up and you would try to steady yourself, but you couldn't. So you did that you did like 6 rounds of that. So much so that Penelope was like, girl, just fall. You keep going from side to side, like, just fall. So your dress should be messed up. Then you busted your butt because as we were walking into this restaurant, two beautiful women were walking out. I was on your right hand side. Penelope was on your left hand side, and you told the girls move hose as they were walking out of the restaurant. You told them move hose, and then you busted your butt again. Like, it was immediate karma. Your feet just flew up in the air, and next thing I know, your butt and back is on the ground in front of those girls, and they laughed at you. She was like, what? I said, yeah. It was hilarious. You said move hose and immediately fell on your ass. Immediately. In that Dolce and Gabbana dress and Labouton heels. She was like, and then I hear her say that, like, because we're on the phone. As we're on the phone, she looks at her heels. That little bow on the pink peekaboo Laboutons is completely hanging off. All she can see is the glue that used to secure the bow to the pink peekaboo part of the shoe of the Louboutin. She was like, "My shoes are so effed up. The bow is hanging off. The bow, I can see the glue." I was laughing like, if you would have saw what was happening to you last night, you would completely understand why the bow is hanging off your shoe. Yeah, completely. I'm surprised the bow is even there. You kept busting your ass so many times. That is hilarious. She's like, "No way." She hung up the phone. She was so upset. She took the shoes back that day and exchanged them. She was like, "These cheap shoes." No, they're not cheap. They're Louboutins, but you fell at least three really great times last night between the club, between going into the restaurant, between getting you back home. You fell. Those shoes can only take so much, no matter how much you spent on them. No amount of shoes can withstand that many falls. Sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. Sometimes that's just how it crumbles. But those shoes took a pretty good beating. They did. Um, and I've laughed at it ever since. She gets still embarrassed because of this story. Now, I don't get embarrassed by any of my stories. Tell them. And I tell everyone, I don't care what happens. I've puked on people's shoes. I've had my dress like I was walking um, off of State Street in Chicago, downtown in Chicago, in this beautiful dress without anything underneath. And I walked over one of the vents that lets the air release from the underground train system. And I walked over it and it blew my dress like over my head with no underwear. It just blew it over. I couldn't even do this. It was like full on air through every crevice. I am not embarrassed. Someone got quite a show. And I remember like bringing my dress down, and there was a guy in front of me, like, like, okay, let me just walk. That does not embarrass me. It's a moment. But so many times these embarrassing moments just, we allow them to define us. They don't mean anything. They're just funny moments you can move past. The Move Hose story is hilarious. So I actually have somewhere to be. I'm going to come back on tonight. So to tell more stories and have more fun. This was cool. So if you're not following me, follow me and add a notification for when I come on live because it's always a great time. I'm also on live on Hope is Speaking YouTube and Hope is Speaking Twitch. You can subscribe to Hope is Speaking YouTube and subscribe to Hope is Speaking Twitch. And Hope is Speaking here at TikTok. So that's it. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for being here. Bye. Bye.